My name is Dave Barber, and I'm with Capitol Television. Each and every week, we come to the third floor of the Rhode Island State House and meet with some members of the General Assembly. We are pleased to have with us a new freshman member, and we always like to have the newer folks on early in the session so that our viewers can get to know them. I welcome the Honorable State Representative Gregg M. Representative, great to see you.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
And congratulations on your victory.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a great process, good learning experience for me, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, and it's also a lot of hard work.
It is. I was bigger than this, if that's possible, before the process. So we knocked on a lot of doors and met a lot of good people, and it is hard work, but it's rewarding.
Now, what prompted you to run for the Rhode Island House of Representatives?
Well, I got my master's degree in public policy, so I've always been interested in public policy. I've been involved in the local Democratic City Committee. I've been a columnist for the local newspaper, so I've always been active in local politics, if you will, and I've been active in causes in our community as well. So it seemed to be a natural fit. It wasn't planned. The redistricting opened up the seat, and I gave it a bid.
Well, I know, obviously, from what you just told me, you certainly are civic-minded. Can you tell our viewers about your family and about your professional background?
Sure. I'm married to Lee Smith Amore. We've been married for 20 years. I have two daughters, Tess Amore and Megan Amore. Tess is 13, Megan's 10. They're both students in the public schools in East Providence. They like the political aspect of this too. They walked with me. They're both great kids. They're interested in tennis and piano, and you know, it's a nice age for us because we're enjoying their activities at this point. I'm a history teacher in East Providence High School. I've been a history teacher there for 24 years. I've coached the varsity hockey and baseball teams there. I've coached baseball at Providence College and the Naval Academy Prep School in Newport. So I have a background in athletics as well. I played baseball at Providence College.
Now, who is the greatest goalie of all time?
Well, I'm a Bruins fan, so Jerry Cheevers to me is the greatest goalie of all time, but not statistically. But I grew up with Jerry Cheevers, so I'm staying with Jerry Cheevers.
Well, that's a pretty good choice. However, I'm a huge fan of the Gump Worsley.
There's no doubt.
But Tim Thomas, by the way, just as a little point of information, is from my hometown of Flint, Michigan. So I also root for him when I see the Bruins play.
Tim Thomas and Michael Moore.
Yeah, exactly. And more specifically, Davis and I do think they come from different political faiths. That's for sure. Well, you have obviously an interesting background, and obviously, education is still important to any state's future. And if you don't have a strong public education system, your state's in trouble. I would think that you can be a real help there.
I think we're moving in the right direction. I think our focus has to be more on early childhood education. I think dealing with the issue of poverty in education has kind of been ignored during this reform movement, and I think we're starting to catch up now. That's one of the focuses I have moving forward, is trying to focus on early childhood education, get to those at-risk students before they become frustrated, before they become more needy and require more services.
You know, it must speak well, though, for us in that not only once but twice we were awarded that race to the top money. That is certainly going to come in handy, but it must indicate that we are doing some things right.
Sure. I think the efforts on behalf of a statewide school funding formula are tremendously important and overdue. In fact, one of the other things I'd like to work on is accelerating that formula, adding to it a little bit. But there's no doubt the race to the top has focused us on where we need to get better, and it's focused on accountability. It's focused on a whole host of things, and this second tier money is focused on early childhood education. So I'm pleased about that.
Well, I know, too, you said you were a history teacher in high school. Have you seen the movie Lincoln yet?
I have seen Lincoln. It was a great movie, and you know, of all the
historically factual.
Yes, in fact, that's what I expected him to be. All the reading I've done on Lincoln, I was pleased that's Daniel Day-Lewis was exactly what I expected him to be.
Well, Representative, I know we'll be seeing you throughout this session. I want to thank you so much for taking time to speak with us and letting our viewers get to know a little bit more about you. I wish you and your colleagues in the Rhode Island House the very, very best.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
And of course, we could not do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. It's called Capitol Spotlight. My name is Dave Barber.